ready to begin the middle school portion. Want to welcome everyone to the 49th Annual City College of New York Poetry Festival for its first and only virtual version. Next year, we hope to be back in Aaron Davis Hall and everybody can be on stage and be appropriately embarrassed to get up and read their poem. But now you just have to be embarrassed on Zoom, which is the way we live now. So that's how we and we're going to go in the order in the program. And first up is, of course, long-term participant in the Poetry Festival and the Poetry Outreach Program, thanks to the tireless efforts of Denise Galang, who is with us and is going to introduce the poets who are here. We have to unmute people, so I would like to at least hit up the names, and then I will try to find them and unmute them here on the speaker view of things, and they will read their fabulous poems if they are ready to. Again, we would love to see you read your poem and turn your camera on and read your poem. But of course, if you have barking chihuahuas behind you or something like that.
Engines.
If there's something, if you don't want it, you don't have to turn your camera on, but we'd love to see you read your poem. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Denise. If Denise is ready. Oh wait, I think you have to unmute yourself, Denise. There we go.
Hi everyone, it is an honor to be here in this virtual space to have my students share their poems. And I know they are probably a little nervous, even though it's, Zoom, it makes things a little bit, usually you would be on a stage. So now you can be in the comfort of your homes. But it is just an honor to see all of you again. And thank you for planning this event to help us come together. So, all right. We are from MS51 in Brooklyn, and we are happy to be here. So our first reader is Jay.
Sorry, my brother was playing music. Hello, my name is Jay Pizzolio, and my poem is named Twisted Truths. 827 days, 10,000 lies, in all the ways, the biggest size. Spreading lies, followers believing, not wise, self-deceiving. Misinformation, not innocent lies, hallucination, wronging our nation. Wearing a mask is no freedom restraint. When the virus attacks, you will be in pain. From election fraud to conspiracy theories, violent mobs ending it all on Biden's victory.
That was great.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Our next reader is Summer.
And where is Summer? I can't find Summer.
Summer's right next to Denise.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's Summer. Hang on. Here we go. I went too far.
Okay. Joys of Zoom.
Hi, my name is Summer. And this poem is entitled The Last 4 Years. I was only 8 when I became fearful that my country's fate would be in the hands of someone that expressed nothing but hate. I thought that I was a citizen of America, which was the land of the free, only to be reminded of the mistreatment of my ancestors. Oh, how that stung like a bee. I watched my 3rd grade friend go from standing tall to holding his head down in fear because there were threats to build a wall. This was nonstop over the last 4 years, only causing a waterfall of tears. I saw my grandfather, my father, and my uncle feel silenced too, because Black men and Black people that complained or wanted to voice their injustices feared that they would be harmed by the men in blue. Oh, that feeling was a deep feeling of pain and confusion, only wishing that this harsh reality was more of an illusion. Today, I can finally start to dream big again. I can feel empowered again. I can smile bright again. While these last 4 years are staying with bad memories, I'm optimistic that the next 4 years will create good memories that will be filled with love and respect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Summer. That was awesome. Our next reader is Sienna.
There we go. Got it.
My name is Sienna Carey, and my poem is They Did Nothing Wrong. When you knelt on his neck, there was no respect. When will this ever stop? The pain, the torture. Ideas filling our heads until we pop. Pop goes the guns that shot all of those people. After you did these bad things, you felt so gleeful. Felt like you did something special. Felt like you did something helpful. It's so evil. The bloodshed on your hand. Please don't do it again. And that is a demand.
Thank you, Sienna. That was wonderful.
I'm sorry. I hate to clap for that because it's, I mean, the meaning behind it, but wow, what an amazingly powerful poem. Thank you.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Our next reader is Selena.
Hello, my name is Selena Chen. My poem is called Mirth and Snow. Bits of tiny snow, like tiny diamonds in the sky. Tears of clouds as small as ants. Tiny particles contained in them. It's the particles of mirth. The crunching sounds when it falls to the land. Waited for 1,000,000 years. Land awakened, covered in white. That's when kids elated. But even though there's a pandemic, nothing can stop the mirth. Families enjoy that time together with a warm snack and tree, and a movie continues. There are tons of snowballs, snowman competition, huge as pillars, slide 1,000,000 miles, get tons of fun as you can before this day goes away. Snow piles, 1,000 feet deep, buried treasures like buried memories. When night falls in 1 minute and sun rises, they'll say goodbye. Snow, unexpected snow, white as crystals and Arctic, crunching sounds as they fall. Tiny as tears, taste like ice. Snow is here, beautiful nature.
Yay, thank you, Selena. As you see, there's a sort of like a pattern in the inspiration for a lot of our writing this year, snow and, sort of like the social climate. So thank you for reading that, Selena. Our next reader is Lauren.
Is Lauren here?
Hi, my name is Lauren Drena, and I will be reading The Demon Angel in the Closet. What would happen if they don't accept me? What would I do? They'll never accept you. Who are you kidding? Of course they'll love and accept you. What do I think if they don't? You're such a terrible person. You're so brave and strong. Where do I go? You'll just burden your friends. You can't show your face around there ever again. You can always ask a friend if you need to. They won't mind. Will they ever want to see me again? They don't want to see the disgrace of a child. It's not like you did anything wrong, so yes. They love me still, right? Who are you kidding? They will never love you. You're still their child, so of course. Will they accept me with open arms? Will they, or will they just hurt you? Of course they will love and support you. Will they even try to act like it's all okay? Even if they don't think so, do you think they'll put up a mask just like you did so you feel safe? If they love you enough, which they do, of course they will. They will learn to accept you, even if they don't think so right now. Or will they just leave me? Most likely. Of course not. You're their child, their own flesh and blood.
There we go.
All right, wonderful, Lauren. Thank you so much for reading that. The next poem is by Cleopatra, who's transferred, so I'm just going to read her poem for her. This is Snow and My Brother by Cleopatra Greengard. I venture out into the cold, feeling courageous, maybe bold. A blast of snow gets in my face. I start to run. It is a race. My brother claims I am too slow. I imagine a ball of snow. Slamming into his smirking expression, I hope the ice will make an impression. Some snow bounces back at me. He grins again with evil glee. And that is Cleo's poem. Our next reader is a beer.
A beer. I saw a beer a second. Oh, there's a beer. Okay, unmute. There we go.
All right. My name's Abir, and my poem's called Snow. Snow is a small part of a winter wonderland. It glistens during the day and makes sure a kid's day isn't bland. Kids make snowmen and snow angels and have some. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. Could I start again?
Yeah.
All right. Snow is a small part of a winter wonderland. It glistens during the day and makes sure a kid's day isn't bland. Snow is beautiful and a sight to see. Kids make snowmen and snow angels and have some time to be free. Snow is also nice, even if it's too cold. Just sit down and relax and have some hot cocoa. Snow is fun and a time to spend with family and friends, but make sure to wear extra because sickness and fun never blend. In all, snow is a blessing, and always be safe, but have fun, and that is my lesson.
Oh, wait, did I lose Denise? Oh, there's Denise. Sorry, Denise, I lost you for a second.
All right. Thank you, Abir, for reading your lovely poem. Our next poet is Sophie.
Hi, my name is Sophie, and I will be reading a poem called I Believe. We marched for what we believed in. We got torn down. We voted for what we believed in, but he says it was a fraud. When people march for Black lives, police officers start to turn on us. No protection anymore. No one to believe in, just handcuffs on our wrist. He says we're ruining it. The system of our government, our democracy. Make America great again, he says. But in truth, I want to say, to scream, that when he leaves his white mansion, it would only be a little better than before. Maybe America was never great, and we're making it less and less as each year passes. But if his guards run around, causing chaos in our capital, breaking windows of his mansion, he wouldn't panic. He would be delighted to have visitors that are not officials asking for payments or coming to count the ballots to presidency. He would tell them he loves them, that they are special, and that the election is a fraud. Police officers seem to enjoy the visit of their people too, taking selfies and opening doors to them. They're the angels in their eyes, and the Black Lives Matter movement never seemed to exist to them. So far, 5 people dead because of their so-called visitors. Now just ask yourself, what did those 5 people die for? Did they die because they are so heroic? Did they jump in front of a person to stop a bullet from punching a hole into another's body? No. They died in chaos and sanity. We have wasted 5 lives protecting the white man, and he hasn't apologized. In fact, all he did in 4 years was build a wall, separate beautiful children from their parents, and cause chaos in our world. So we must keep fighting for what we believe in without causing chaos and covering our mouth and nose so we don't get poisoned from our invisible enemy.
And again, that's another one. We're hearing all these depressing poems that we're cheering for, but We're cheering for your remarkable voices and your daringness in sharing these words. Thank you, Sophie, and all the other poets so far. Okay, Denise.
Thank you, Pam. All right, Sophie, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. Our next poet is Tajane.
Hi, I'm Tajane Akhtar Jackson. My poem's called The End. You were a person who didn't love loudly. You'd rather just spend time in your room being captivated by your dreams. But I'm a girl who's in need to be reassured and cared for. I could only wish to be the star of every dream you've ever made. So clearly we seem like a mess, tragic even. But wow, we really seem perfect. I mean, you were my calm in a loud world and my safe in a world of dread. You held a knife, making sure it didn't go into my chest and end me completely. But then you left. So now that knife seems deeper every breath I take, desperate for release out of my chest. So now I hate you because you made me feel so secure and safe, yet you were the one to kill me in the end.
Thank you, Tajane, for reading your poem. And our next reader is August.
Hi, I'm August Kaiser, and my poem is Inhale, Exhale. Fights, riots, USA. Police brutality, USA. Corruption, USA. Chaos, intimidation, USA. Fires burning everywhere, USA. In 4 years, all of our success destroyed like a finely polished shoe that has stepped in every disgusting puddle. Hatred, USA. Like the river Styx is our swimming pool. White privilege, USA. Blame, USA. Inhale, exhale. The US has come to this and this only.
Thank you, August, for another powerful poem. Our next reader is Michaela. Let me see if she's here.
Yeah, I don't see her, Denise.
Okay. All right. Should I just read her poem?
Yeah, please.
Okay, great. All righty. So Michaela McAllister wrote a beautiful poem called Disappear. The problem here is very clear, but it keeps continuing to appear. Everyone knows what it is. It isn't the first time, but it keeps coming and won't disappear. We've tried to stop it. We always have, but it won't stop and continues to appear. This is what happens when you allow someone this power. They do what they want, and no one can stop them. White supremacy is very clear, and their voices are here. But when it comes to us, our voices disappear. We spoke our minds, we were calm and collective. They spoke theirs, they were rough and aggressive. He knows what he did, it affects us too, but they forget about us like we're not affected too. They did their destroying, but it was all for nothing, because in the end, the outcome they wanted never appeared. Okay, that concludes Michaela's poem. Our next poet is Leah. I'm not sure if I see her.
Yeah, I don't see Leah in there either.
All right. Just give me, maybe we'll just go on to the next poets who are here. And if there's time, I'll read her poem. Okay. Our next poet is Ben.
Hello. Okay. My name is Ben Drum, and my poem is called When I Woke Up. When I woke up, I could hear the whistling in the wind. When I woke up, I could see the tiny particles of snowflakes passing by my window. When I woke up, I could feel the warm fur of my dog as he huddled close to me, trying to get warm. When I woke up, I could smell the heater turning on to fight against the overpowering cold air. When I woke up, my snow day had begun. The sun is nowhere to be seen, hidden underneath the blizzard clouds. The snow piled up against all the doors of my house, locking us in. My dog excitedly wanted to investigate what appeared to be a fluffy cloud covering the cobblestone in the backyard. When I woke up, I wondered if we would ever experience a traditional snow day. When I woke up.
Okay, thank you so much, Ben, for your poem. Our next poet is Samantha.
Hi, my name is Samantha, and my poem is called I Know. I believe that racism isn't fair. I believe that police brutality isn't fair. I believe that discrimination isn't fair. No, scratch that. I know. And unfair doesn't even begin to describe it. Disgusting, embarrassing, disturbing, shameful, horrific. I know that racism is disgusting. I know that police brutality is shameful and discriminatory. I know that discrimination is outrageous. The inequality, the favoritism, the injustice, the hatred. And I know that America today is just humiliating.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for your poem, and for all of you brave poets who have shared your work with us. There's another student who's also absent, so that was the last poet on our list, but you can proceed with the other classes. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Denise. That was great. Every year, some of the most socially engaged and powerful poems emanate from MS-51, and it's always a thrill to read them and to put them in poetry and performance for the fall, which of course, everyone who reads today, all of your poems will be in poetry and performance, which will be virtual. It'll be both a ebook and posted as a website for everybody to enjoy their work and read everybody's work. So thank you again so much, Denise. It's awesome. And I believe I'm now going to unmute the one and only May English, and I believe also Mr. Pagano, to introduce MS 88 Poets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Good morning.
All right. And Mr. Pagano should be unmuted as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you to City College, Pam, Gregory, and your entire staff. It's just wonderful that your staff and you have provided a platform for our talented poets. So it is my honor to present the talented poets of MS-88. So without further ado, I'll present our first poet, Anna Kuflik. Anna, you're in the house.
I'm Anna Kuflik. I'm a 6th grader at MS-88, and my poem is Unprotected. From a homeless child. Where's the sink, Dr. Fauci? I'd like to know how I could wash for 20 seconds when the only fresh running water is rivers and snow. How can I shelter in place and be 6 feet apart when my place is the streets? These questions I'll impart. I would like to stay safe, really I would, but I don't even go to school, so how am I supposed to stay safe and good? Just one more question, Dr. Fauci, please, sir. When everyone's already down on their luck, when people have used up their very last buck, how can someone who is in that situation, maybe worse, protect themselves from this new reality that just struck? So here's a real tricky one, if you can answer it, please. The cold already makes us wheeze, but this is so much more deadly, so what happened to my soap, mask, and gloves?
Thank you so much, Anna. Superbly done. Wonderful. Thank you. Our next poet, Tori Mims.
Sorry, I had trouble unmuting. Distraction is near. Destruction is always is all we hear. Nothing can stop it now, but we can slow it down. In time, all we will hear is wow. Because when you sit under the stars, no calm will come, just destructive power of tone. Causing disunity and lacking love, under the light, we slowly dissolve as a community. So what we hear is the destruction is really near. The population is going down. We listen to the news, all you hear, because they lost their child. To a virus with control, nowhere to be found. Now think about it. The destruction, it's really near.
So powerful. Thank you so much, Tori. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Pagano. We've been working together now for several years on this project. Mr. Pagano.
Thank you, Ms. English. As Ms. English said, we've been working for many years on this project with our poets at MS88, and we're very proud of them. And we also want to thank Pam and Gregory and Alyssa and everyone at City College for all that they do to put on this wonderful event. So our first 7th grade participant is Ivy Morris.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pagano. As you said, I'm Ivy Layla Morris in grade 7 at MS88, and I'm going to be reading my poem, Mother Earth. Our mother is alone, stooped, tired in her bones, sits down expired, and we leave her on her own. Everything we stole weighs on her soul until she's no longer whole. Our junk glitters our world. When she asserts we must clean up our house, okay, geez, we complain without gratitude. Her dismay, disarray, and afterthought to our rude platitudes. We try to believe we relieve her, but no, though we put her feet up, greet her clean up. When we see her truly in need, we convince ourselves not to impede. In the end, we can never justify our actions. We deserve to be vilified. We sap her energy supply. And I know why we don't rectify. No one cares enough until they die. Thank you.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
That's a great job, Ivy. Thank you. Our next poet is Isabella Manares.
Hi, my name is Isabella, and the title of my poem is Don't Judge. We need to stop racism and judging people by their sexuality and race. We are all different and unique. We should all accept each other. We are all a family. Beautiful people that God created for a reason. But we don't really know someone until we take the time to know them. We should not judge people just because of the way they look. We are created with different looks and minds. Remember your true identity because that is what makes you you.
Great job, Isabella. Thank you so much. Our next poet is Sebastian Romanello.
Sebastian Romanello. I go to MS88 and I'm in the 7th grade. Here's my poem. As I go up, I feel the excitement a child may get on Christmas Day. As I go up, I see a bird of magnificence and beauty. It descends and ascends every obstacle. It flies, fluttering with grace. As I go up, my surroundings shrink, yet it only lasts but seconds. As I go up, I feel as if I am the bird I saw a few seconds ago.
Sebastian, is there more to the poem?
Yet it only lasts but seconds.
We lost sound, Sebastian. Do you think you could read the ending again? I don't want everyone not to hear it.
Okay. In such elegance that can only be seen on nature channels. As I go up, I feel free, as if there are no rules or boundaries that can't be broken. As I go up, I feel free, that all my worries have been forgotten, yet it only lasts but seconds.
Thank you, Sebastian.
You're welcome.
Great job. And our last poet is Phoebe Stearns.
My name is Phoebe Stearns, and I'm the 7th grader at MS88. My poem is called Sentences. Words crammed together, trying to make sense of each other. Letters strung together like plastic charms on a bracelet. Pieces of a puzzle slowly being drawn together.
Some sentences are wonderful, savory as a steak, sweet as a sugar cookie, making them feel warm and fuzzy. Some are dreadful, sharp like an icicle, leaving them raw and cold. How can something so small, so short, make such an impact?
I just want to say, listening to these young poets read these very important poems with these really deep and important messages, it gives me hope for our future. So thank you for writing these amazing poems and for being brave enough to share them with us, especially in this moment in time. So I mean, and we'll all give each other a round of applause at the end, but you all should be so proud of yourselves for what you are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then let's give a round of applause for the poets of MS88. Thank you so much.
And also for May English and Mr. Pagano, they have been with us as long as Denise has. They're an amazing school, also in Park Slope. So I have to say, these teachers and the neighborhood and the students rock. So
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So awesome. This is going so well. I'm trying not to jinx it, but I'm just really pleased how well this is going.
I think that's better than we anticipated, which is great.
I believe MS 140 is next up. Is that correct?
Yes, and Kate Temple.
Yeah, so I am unmuting Kate. Hi, Kate. Oh, wait, are you still? I think you might have, there you go.
Hi, actually, I think I'm the Director of Education at Artist Space, and we partner with PS 140. And we have a wonderful poet in residence there that's been working with the amazing 8th grade and Mr. Versillo. And so he is going to introduce the poets.
Okay.
I think he's on.
Yeah, I see.
And
unmuting.
Thank you so much, Pam and Gregory and Alyssa for creating this event. It's super exciting for us.
And Louis, you should be unmuted. I think you might have to unmute yourself now as well. Try again. There we go.
Hi, welcome from PS 140. I'm here actually with 3 of our poets in a classroom. So I'm going to be introducing them. Thank you so much for inviting us, and we're very excited to be here. So our first poet from PS 140 is Diana Nunez.
Hi. I haven't seen my best friend since March 13, 2020. The only time I got to see her was in October. I haven't seen my family that's in DR in 4 years. I would write letters to my cousin Leslie. She was my first best friend. And while I write from an apartment in New York, she writes in an apartment, but in a different country.
Our next poet is Giselle Vasquez.
Could you possibly be here when we need you? Like a police officer needs a bulletproof vest. When the conversations are loud enough, I wish I was so carefree of the worries. As weird as I may be, it's fun most of the time. But the words are not important because you could just sneeze them away. No matter how fake, toxic, or vile a person can be, you still celebrate those around you who are pleasant and amazing. The food you eat can also be a sanctuary from the troubles, or scream them out with an ah. But most of the time, the comfort you receive can also come from a friend.
Our next poet is Tiffany Thorne.
Smile, because you have feelings. The act doesn't define you or who you are. Stand tall, don't give in. Be and stay open-minded. So when you dance your November dance, you feel this unexpected hate. Inside, you sleep, you wake up, you're drawn to it like food. You wake up, think about it like wow, but you don't. You think it's just a dream. When you wake up, all you hear is call your warrior.
And our final 140 poem is Jerissa Mercado.
The last poet's on mute, Greg. Jerissa said it doesn't let her.
You're good to go, Jerissa.
Okay. My name is Jerissa. I am from PS 140 and I'm in 8th grade. The sun, the way it hides in the clouds, soars through the sky and stings in my eyes, invading my home with its light. Let me compare you to a bright balloon. You are more deadly, aesthetic, and stronger. The bright sun heats the cement sidewalks of June, and summertime has the whole of New York outside. I love your hot, bright, sunny mornings, thinking of going outside and catching some sun, all day, every day. But now I must go inside. See you another day.
Awesome. And that's MS88. Yes?
That PS 140, and thank you so much for having us. And we're so proud of all of our poets. And thank you, Artist Space, for working with them for so many years. We're really proud of them. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Sorry, I said MS88, but I meant 140.
And thank you, Artist Space, I'm glad that you were willing to do this for all the teachers here today. I know how hard you work, all the labor, all the sweat, and the idea that all of you and the students were online for so long. Just astounding. Thank you.
So great. All right, I think I'm going to turn this over to Alyssa to introduce Eastside Middle School. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready. Eastside Middle School, are you ready?
I believe they're ready.
We're ready? Okay, I am so excited to introduce this school and their principal, Mr. Getz. This is my first year working with this school, and I hope it won't be my last, because these are some of just the most profound and prolific poets that I have ever worked with. And our first poet is Ramona. Is Ramona here?
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
Okay, hi. So my name is Ramona. I'm in 6th grade and I go to ESMS. My poem is called Homage to My Smile. My smile can create its own fate. No direction, it takes its own path. It changes with every reaction. It smiles when there is nothing to smile about. It smiles when no one can see. It smiles when people can't take it anymore. It smiles when there are tears raining down from my eyes. But no smile leaves the same mark. Every smile, a new experience, a new impression on my life. This is why my smile, a great power, can change someone's day. This is why I honor that smile. My smile has new personality every time it wakes up.
Wonderful. And our next poet from Eastside Middle School, Ahana. I saw you, Ahana. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. So yeah, my name is Ahana Chandra. I'm in 7th grade at Eastside Middle School, and my poem is what cannot be forgotten. There it goes again, annoying me. Seriously, this little pesky piece of tape has so much history. It's the kind that can come easily off of walls. My mother never allowed us to use any other kinds of tape on the walls, so we stuck with this type of tape, even though the other tape didn't take forever to find, unlike this one. We used it to attach our Fujifilm photo to the wall. It was taken on my father's birthday, when we all went to a fancy Indian restaurant to celebrate. I remember how I was so proud of my newly acquired camera. I used it to take pictures of everything, longing to capture our joy. We loved the ambiance of the restaurant. It was so calm and dark, but little did we know that would be its failing point. That picture came out way too dark, and we were way too tiny to see in it. So whenever friends came over, they would squint as if trying to figure out why the photo was there anyway. And that's what I wondered too, which is why I ended up ripping the photo off the wall. But apparently the tape was stronger than we thought, and now it can't even come off, even though the photo did. What a ripoff. A day or two later, I found the photo lying on my desk. The tiny people seemed to smile right at me, pleading for a second chance. Immediately, I was back to that day at the restaurant, laughing and smiling and singing happy birthday. For a second, my ever too stubborn mind resisted, but in the end, I knew I could not stand the guilt. To this day, that very same photo, the one I almost threw out, is framed on my desk, smiling the same smiles I almost threw out.
I will say this, while having these, the festival virtually is not the same as being in person, it is also very lovely to see all of you being so supportive of one another in the chats and just how you're commenting on each other's poems. It's just nice to see the support you're showing, other poets. It's wonderful. So thank you so much, Ahana. And next up we have Renoha. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
My name is Renoha Satani, and my poem's name is Euphoria and Danger. Clock tower chimed as I stepped into my garden. I lower my hood and glance around the beautiful place. The flowers carefully dance in the wind. A bumblebee flies by, and I greet it with a bright smile. Morning, I say. The sunlight pours through the trees, and birds welcome me with an uplifting tune. I breathe in the sweet divine smell. My hair gently caresses my face. I open the wooden door to my home and step inside. Hurry, hissed the assassin. I'm trying, I protest. The castle was darker than the night sky, and the click-clack of our boots echoed the empty hallways. Our breaths were ragged. My legs were straining as I willed them to go faster. I could feel the gazes of the guards sizzling against my back. They would catch up soon. I hate to admit it, but it's true. My heart bangs against my chest faster than each footfall as I bit my lips to keep quiet. I could taste the tangy coppery blood in my mouth, but I knew I had to run. The exit was so close, if my legs were just a little bit faster. A strong hand gripped the back of my cape and I lurched backwards. No, I tried to free myself, but whoever it was strong. You have some gut to run away from me, I whipped my head towards the person and snarled. He had a big dark slash across his distorted features and his smile was the worst. You're coming with me, he said. I could feel the fear and rage bubble inside me as it threatened to burst. No, I said through gritted teeth. He reached inside his pocket and pulled out something I couldn't identify. He pressed it against my mouth. The sweet smell filled my senses and I felt my body start to go numb. No. The man smiled and he... Good book? The man started to fade and the castle started to fade. Everything was fading. I cocked my head to the familiar voice. I felt a cold gust of wind kiss my hot cheeks and my fingertips were glowing. Good book? Good book? Good book? The voice echoed. Bright tiny lights surrounded me, trapping me in a colorful dome. There was a sudden flash. Many high-pitched voices filled my throbbing head. I snapped my head up and saw someone smiling. No, it was my friend. Her dark hair was flowing in the wind, her eyes like a storm yet curious. I slowly turned my head. Many kids were running around, some with basketballs and some with a group of friends. I took a deep breath in through my nose and deep breath out through my mouth. I sighed and pulled my hair to cover my face. Yeah, I breathed.
Wow. What a poem right there, huh? Okay. And next up from Eastside Middle School, we have Lola Kravitz. Is Lola here?
Yeah, I am. Hi, my name is Lola Kravitz.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, hi. My name is Lola Kravitz, and I forgot what my poem is called.
It happened.
But it's about a fantasy novel, I think. Yeah. Um, I wish I was treated a little better. For my pages are torn and missing, stained in an ambiguous shade between yellow and cream, with crimson fingerprints that sadly aren't even covered in blood. Mystery and horror get all the fun, although they're tossed under the bed in a fit of fear. But only of spicy chips, which smell of chemicals and hot sauce. And my spine is broken in, with all the stitches that held it together unraveling. I really should get a chiropractor. I'm faded with the absurdly bright jewel tones of the cover that illustrate magic, knights, illnesses, knights, royalty, and knights turned to a vaguely grayish version of itself. I was once dignified, fake leather stretched tight as I puffed my chest and strained my back, proud and haughty, the cream of the crop. But now I've aged 1,000 years in 1,000 minutes. A decrepit old man, going senile, shedding paper like wispy silver hair. The price of being loved is steep, although better than being forgotten, and shoved into an eternal void of fallen blankets, discarded candy wrappers, and unfinished homework.
Excellent. And next up, we have Anna.
I don't think Anna's here, Alyssa.
Anna, are you here?
Alyssa, maybe we're a little behind. If Anna isn't here, would you mind not sharing her poem?
That's fine. I don't necessarily have it right at my fingertips.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, if Anna, Mr. Getz, Anna is not here. Do we know? We don't see her? Anna. Okay, so we will move on. And next, Ugo. I saw Ugo. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I know I saw you.
My name is Ugo Chinere, or Ugo Avese, and so I'm an 8th grader at Eastside Middle School, and the name of my poem is Guy, Tenten, Neji, and Rock Lee, inspired by Naruto and anime and manga. Guy, Tenten, Neji, and Rock Lee were spending a rainy day inside as bored as can be. Neji suggested to turn on the TV, but everyone just fought on which channel they should see. And then Guy and Lee decided that instead everyone should do some workouts. But Tenten and Neji objected in the forms of screams and shouts. And so Tenten suggested that they should instead play with some darts. But no one wanted to be bested by Tenten, for it would leave them with saddened hearts. And so Lee decided to take another shot. For if they couldn't agree on anything, boredom would be all they've got. And Lee suggested that maybe they should play a board game, and everyone agreed, as everyone finally had an idea that was the same. And they picked Monopoly, but that ended very horribly. And with everyone turning their back on everyone else, no one was willing to talk or suggest anything else. And the unwanted evil called boredom came once again. But feeling bad about Monopoly, the only one to speak right then was Tenten. And she started to talk about the many fun and funny times she spent with the team, like how Neji always joined Lee in his skits, no matter how crazy they seemed. And even though at first everyone was still angry after some stories, Tenten continued on as she said, "Man, Lee, you were too wild with those nunchucks. I knew trouble would come, and I was filled with dread. And the nunchucks finally flew from your hands, hitting Lady Tsunade's statue, making her bald and leaving her with just a few strands. And everyone in the village saw, everyone who saw the sight dropping their jaw. And oh, Lady Tsunade was so mad. And when she got a hold of you, I knew you were going to be a dead lad.
And after she was done with you, I wasn't sure how you were alive. Serves you right, for I knew with those nunchucks, trouble would be where you would arrive. And so 1010 continued on, and as 1010 told each story one by one, everyone's frowns turned to smiles, and they told stories too, now starting to have fun. And the rainy clouds let up outside, and anyone could have said that was normal, yes. But personally, I think that it was the brilliant happiness from the bunch that had made the world become happy and at rest.
And next up from ESMS, we have Nora. Is Nora here? I thought I saw Nora.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was there. I emailed you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Nora Cassetta, and here's my poem, Learning the Art of Closure. Okay. Before you know the sweet home of closure, you must know vulnerability like the back of your hand. Floating in midair, trying to grab onto anything tangible. Feel the stake driving deeper into your heart. The thought of moving on, not something you can afford. Every moment is filled with jealousy and regret. The word despair fills your journal until no white is left. The self-reassuring sentence, "I'm fine," becomes your life anthem. A song whose meaning is so desirable, so priceless, so free. But there's always a song that is so captivating that it envelops you in a blanket of fake hope. It becomes the song that is in every playlist you create. No, it is the only song that makes up your playlists, each unentitled title. Before you can learn the graceful art of closure, you must live with the unbearable thought of loss, the lingering realization, much like a delayed reaction. You must understand the damage, accept it, and take the blame. The vision of hope haunting you in the mirror, leaving your mind in the darkness of itself. Alas, the light switch is present, but not in your state of mind. You have to fumble, reach up, and fall again, trying to dispose of the dependence you have built. You have to be haunted of what could have been. You must dream, your dreams fueled by false hope of the distant future. In that, you will find the song that rips the enveloping blanket of fake hope off of you, the eraser with the willpower to erase 80 pages, the light switch to wither the regret and jealousy lurking in your mirror, the key underneath the floor to unlock your cell door and walk free. It is only then that you are welcomed with open arms into the sweet home of closure, for closure is the entity that makes the world go round.
And last, but certainly not least, from Eastside Middle School, we have Tessa.
Hi. Hello, my name is Tessa Kolaversky from Eastside Middle School, and my poem is called Dicing with Death. I've lived on the edge of an Upper East Side New York City apartment. I've been on rocking chairs, the ones that give you heart attacks whenever you tilt even slightly backwards. I've stepped on Legos. I've admitted to my mother that it's too cold outside when I originally refused to wear a sweater. I've quarreled with the Brighton Beach Russians while getting salami. I've been to porta potties in Central Park. I've drank 2% milk that's been sitting up 4 weeks. I've eaten strictly the double-decker Taco Supreme from Taco Bell for a week. I've peed in a pool twice at the age of 13. I've gone to Starbucks and asked for a medium frappuccino instead of a grande. I've preemptively crossed the Black Cat's path. I've licked all the new Boston cream donuts at Dunkin' Donuts. I've swam in the Hudson River. I've eaten gas station sushi, even the spicy tuna. I've dropped my iPhone 7 in the toilet and fished it out with my bare hands. I've sipped a bit of water from the Coney Island water park. And I've touched a 2-train subway rail, and I've lived to tell the tale.
Whew. Thank you so much, Eastside Middle School, all of you wonderful poets, Principal Getz, for bringing all of your students together in this wonderful way. I was so thrilled to work with you. And next, I think I'm handing it over to Pam for 368.
Yes, Tag is on the program as next, but I have to leave to go to the high school portion. In fact, I only have 5 more minutes with which I could stay with 368. So Alyssa, I'll ask you or Greg to take over, but at least I can introduce Deborah Newman and the school and also say 2 things, probably a little more than 2. I want to say thank you so much to Gregory and Alyssa for making this event absolutely spectacular. It's gone pretty seamlessly, I would say, and it's being recorded. It's exhilarating to see most of your faces on screen, not so many black boxes. I want to thank the teachers who have done a Herculean task this year in teaching, educating the students, mostly on Zoom. I want to thank the students who have continued to write, and I want to encourage them to write. I also want to encourage all of you who are here today, if you are going to public school next year, there is a high school poetry contest. It is part of this whole event. It's called the New York City Poetry Outreach Award and contest. It will be posted on our website. Greg might tell you a little bit about it before the day's events end at noon. And you have the opportunity again to submit your poem. However, I do have to say however, unlike in middle school when you submit your poem and pretty much you can read it, in high school we have a contest. We usually get upwards of 1,000 poems, though this year fewer. So we are still having this high school event. We have 5 cash prize winners, 2 poets who have poems in translation, and 20 honorable mention poets who will be reading. And so I hope to see you next year, which will be our 50th anniversary, but Greg and Alyssa will tell you a little bit more in the end. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents. Thank you, teachers, more than ever. And Deborah, you're on. And you are Deborah 368, like Denise in Brooklyn, like May English and Denise Galang. Deborah has been with us since forever. I don't even know how many years. And I will be able to hear 1 or 2 of your students, but then I have to head over to the high school event on the camera. I have not left the seat.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful long journey. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Gregory, for this wonderful event and that you managed to do this through the pandemic, which was phenomenal. So I thank you. All right, I'm going to move on.
We cannot forget Alyssa.
Thank you, Alyssa. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. All right. The poet Khalil Gibran said, "Poetry is a deal of joy and pain and wonder." I'm proud to say that my students' poems expressed a range of joy and pain and wonder, just as all the beautiful poems I've heard today. If Alicia's here, I'm not sure if Alicia is here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see Alicia.
Okay, so I'll move on.
I think Alex might be here.
Alex, and I know Madeline is here.
Yes,
so I'll move on. My student Madeline will recite her poem about the wonder and magic of the Spanish guitar. She wrote this poem during National Hispanic Heritage Month, and I would like to proudly introduce Madeline. Take it away, Madeline.
Hi, good morning. My name is Madeline. Well, just 1 second, because I have to get something so I could blow your mind.
Uh-oh, our minds are about to be blown.
Uh-oh.
I'm the anticipation is like,
I'm so glad I didn't need to go to the high school event.
I mean, high school is high school, you know. These are the real stars.
And for the first time, the New York City High School won first prize. Yeah. Big deal.
All right, Madeline, you ready?
Yes, sir. All right. The poem is called Poem for a Spanish Guitar. When I hear the sound of your melody, I feel like we have chemistry. In this special way, I want to honor you and tell how the guitar grew in Hispanic culture. In the 1800s, Spanish guitar maker Antonio Torres created a guitar like a magical sculpture that sang glory around the land when stroked by a human hand. His design started the way for the modern guitar that's a blessing today. We listen to the beauty of his blues. It's a calling we can't refuse. We are proud to be Hispanics. Our Hispanic music keeps us strong. Its melody is haunting like the theme song of Titanic. Our music is in our minds and soul. It makes me lose control. When I play the guitar, I feel whole. I feel the joy of parties, family reunions, and my birthday party. See, your beautiful magic I will bring alive. Every time I play, my worries go away and I survive.
Thank you, Madeline. That was amazing.
Thank you, Madeline. Our minds and our ears were blown. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Finally, my student Alex, she wrote a very powerful poem about the pain of racial injustice and police brutality. I proudly introduce Alex.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and I wrote this poem about why we keep crying Black Lives Matter. I wrote this poem in March, and sadly enough, it gets even more relevant every day in America. The challenges of melanin. Melanin is a beautiful thing to embrace. We got the looks, we got iconic style, we got culture that shines like the brightest diamonds. We got skin that when it's in the light, it complements our skin like no other. You may wish you had melanin. However, do you really want melanin? Because without a doubt, having this luscious melanin comes with many challenges. With having melanin, we're stereotyped as criminals. We can't sleep at night without fearing that today might be our last day on this earth. We can't take a jog in the park without being shot by a cop. And why do we get shot? Well, the answer is quite easy to figure out. The answer, we're Black. We're not seen as humans. We're not seen as people who deserve an ounce of mercy or the right to be heard. Instead, we're silenced. We get outspoken, our cries are ignored. It's honestly sad if you really think about it, because fellow Black kids like me had to be told that we're not equal. One wrong move, one wrong thing said, our tone of voice, our body language can simply cost our life. And within a matter of seconds, we can go from being alive and well to laying on the floor, bleeding out, taking our last breath, crying because we're not ready to go. We're not ready to see the look of our mothers' faces when they hear that their child has been murdered by the injustice of our system. We don't want to go out in the hands of a cop or a white person who's angry that we're finally using our voice to our advantage. So, when you say you wish you had melanin in you, think to yourself, would I be ready to face the challenges of melanin?
Wow.
Thank you, Alex. And I'm so proud of you. And this shows how poetry can reflect empathy for others and also reflect the pain that many feel in society. So thank you so much, Alex.
Yeah, and thank you, Deborah.
Yes, thank you, Deborah. I'm leaving.